let us see how a parabola looks in its standard form. So basically this is how a parabola looks in its standard form. I will explain you the construction of this parabola. The line y dash that you can see is basically your y-axis, okay, and the line xx dash that you can see is basically your x-axis. Now see, I have already shown you that the parabola will have this shape that is already shown to you in this figure. This point P is the variable point that we were talking about. S is the focus whose coordinates are a, 0 because it is lying on the x-axis. So the coordinate y will be 0. The line zz dash is the directrix. Now for a parabola, PS is equal to PM. Remember that. So the distance PM will be equal to the distance PS. The equation of the directrix that they have taken is x is equal to minus a. X is equal to minus a, or you can say x plus a is equal to 0. Okay. Now see this, how will we find out that what will be the equation of this parabola? See, we know that for a parabola the centricity is equal to 1, PS is equal to PM. Over here what was the coordinates of the point S? It was a, 0, and what were the coordinates of the line directrix? It was x is equal to minus a, or you can say that x plus a is equal to 0. Okay. The point is supposed to be taken as what? The variable point is supposed to be taken as h, k. So what will be the distance between hk and a, 0? It will be h minus a whole square plus k minus 0 whole square. Now see, if PS is equal to PM, then we know that PS square is basically equal to PM square. We already did a question regarding this. So that is the same concept that we are using over here. PS square will be equal to this, and what will be PM square? PM square means substitute the point in the line. So you will get h plus a divided by root of 1 square plus 0 square and whole square. So you will get what? Now expand this, you will get h square plus a square minus 2ah plus k square is equal to h square plus a square plus 2ah divided by 1. Now you don't need to write 1. Okay. So now this h square and a square will get cancelled on both the sides. You will get k square is equal to 2ah, and this 2ah will come on the right hand side and get added with this 2ah. So 2ah plus 2ah will give you what? 4ah. Now since it was the locus of a point, so now you will replace h by x and k by y. So you will get y square is equal to 4ax, and this is known as your standard equation of a parabola. Now there are some key terms that you have to understand with the parabola, which we will be discussing now. Now we need to understand some terminologies regarding a parabola. Xx dash I already told you is x-axis, yy dash is your y-axis, zz dash we have discussed innumerous number of times that it is your directrix. So zz dash is called directrix. The point S is known as your focus. And one thing that you must remember over here is that the point A, this point A is called the vertex. What is A point? A point is called the vertex, and the distance between the point A and this point K is equal to the distance between the point A and the focus. Basically the distance, if you have to calculate A, the value of A for a parabola now, so A is equal to distance between focus and vertex, and the distance between the focus and the vertex is equal to the distance between the vertex and the directrix, okay, which in this case is equal to A. The line yy dash, which is your y-axis, is also known as the tangent at vertex. It is known as the tangent at vertex. Okay, vertex can also be defined as the before defining that, let me discuss that xx dash is known as the axis of the conic section. Axis of conic. Okay, so axis is basically a line about which our conic is symmetric. So if you see above the x-axis and below the x-axis, you can see symmetry in the conic. Okay, so xx dash, which in this case is your x-axis, is known as the axis of the conic. Okay, yy dash is known as the tangent at vertex. And now if I want to define vertex in another way, I can say that vertex is basically the point of intersection of your conic and axis. The point at which the axis and the conic intersect, that point. So now see, at point A, this conic and this axis are intersecting. So the point of intersection of your conic and axis is known as the vertex of the parabola. Okay. Now coming, we have discussed focus, vertex, directrix, tangent at vertex, axis of conic. Okay. The most important thing over here is the value of A, which is the distance between the focus and the vertex, which is also equal to the distance between your vertex and the directrix. The second thing is focal chord. What do we understand by a focal chord? Any chord that passes through focus is known as your focal chord. So any chord, this is also a chord because this parabola will keep extending. So this is also a chord which is passing through focus. It will be known as your focal chord. Take this point as, suppose this point as P dash and this point as Q dash. So P dash, Q dash is known as your focal chord. What is a focal chord? Any chord passing through focus. Double ordinate. The next thing that we have to discuss is a double ordinate. What is a double ordinate? Any chord which is perpendicular to your axis. Any chord which is perpendicular to axis. All these chords are perpendicular to axis. The chords that are perpendicular to the axis are known as your double ordinates. If I take this point as P double dash and this point as Q double dash, this point as say R and this point as say S, then P double dash, Q double dash and RS will be known as double ordinates. Double ordinates. What are double ordinates? Double ordinates are the chords that are perpendicular to the axis of the parabola. Now coming to a very special term that we will be discussing over here. That special term is latus rectum. What is a latus rectum? Latus rectum is a focal chord, or you can say it is a double ordinate which passes through focus. A double ordinate which passes through the focus is known as a latus rectum. Now over here in this figure, this line P double dash Q double dash is passing through the focus S and it is also perpendicular to the axis. Since P double dash Q double dash is perpendicular to the axis, it is a double ordinate, and since it is passing through the focus, it is also a focal chord. So a double ordinate passing through focus is latus rectum, which in this case has been identified by P double dash Q double dash. P double dash Q double dash is your latus rectum. These are some of your terminologies with respect to a parabola which you need to understand, because when a question is given to you, they will ask you the equations and the values of all these terms.